Dan Dietrich over here in lane number 1. That's the far left lane, the supercharged machine. Sarah Allen, second generation driver in the injected nitro car in lane number 2. Dan Page over there in lane number 3. Another injected car. And Megan Smith, the third generation driver, the folks at Redline Oil and General Machine in lane number 4. Dan Dietrich, lane number 1. Adam Rhoades is standing out in front of that car, helping them tune this weekend. Side of that race car, big old orange letters says, "Get well soon, KACE." Adam Rhoades has been around this sport for a long, long time. His son is KACE. He is a member of the United States Army stationed over in Hawaii. He was involved in a terrible motorcycle accident a couple of weeks ago. Adam has spent the last 2 weeks over there and just flew back last week so that he can come back to work on these race cars. Went and ran a comp eliminator car down there in Oklahoma and then out here this weekend in Charlotte. He's going right back to Hawaii. So, KACE, if you're at home, just know we're thinking about you. Hope you get better soon. Been a tough run of it of late for the Rhoades family down there. Adam lost his mom and his dad over the course of the last year or so. His father, Walt, was a longtime competitor and top fuel driver, inductee to the NHRA Heritage Reunion, quite Hall of Fame, but honoree section, you could call it, out there in Bakersfield. The now newly renamed Wally Parks Nostalgia Nationals. And Adam's been around this sport for a long, long time, helping out Dan Dietrich this weekend, who's also been around this sport for a long, long time. That supercharged car has Noonan power on it. The other 3 cars are injected nitro machines. Sarah Allen, lane 2. Her father is Artie Allen, who is standing next to the car, walking forward, setting the idle. Artie, who also has a top fuel car that he races in, bounces back and forth between this car and the top fuel car. Dan Page over there in lane number 3. Former U.S. Nationals champion and the chassis builder for a lot of these cars out here. Megan Smith in lane 4. Her mom is Rhonda Hartman Smith. Her dad is John Bodie Smith. Her grandpas are Paul Smith and Virgil Hartman. That is a racing family through and through. First quad, all dragster. Here we go. Dietrich was really late off the line. Don't let that fool you. It's also a little bit lazy down there. 5:52.9, quickest of the quad is Dan Page in lane number 3 at only 258 miles per hour. I'm not going to say any of these cars really got all of it. Dan Page goes 5:52.9. I take that back. Megan Smith was quickest, 5:52.4. Missed that over there in lane 4. She was 4,000 or 5,000s quicker. So a 5:52.4 for Megan Smith at 265. 5:52.9 at 258 for Dan Page. That is way down on speed for an injected nitro car. Sarah Allen, 5:58.0. Speaking of down on speed, 251. So that car was really not getting all of it on the big end of the track. And Dan Dietrich goes to the number 5 spot, the slowest of the 4 in the quad. He went 5.749 at only 244 miles per hour. I'm going to tell you, Dan Dietrich dropped the clutch on that machine, and it looked like it just didn't really have any oomph. Usually you see those injected cars hit the tire, or the alcohol cars, supercharged cars rather, hit the tire real hard and get going. Dan Dietrich's car just kind of labored on down there before it got moving.